and welcome to the long-awaited exhibit tour's debut of the St. Louis Zoo, a place I've wanted to feature for several years and, in my eyes, a worthy choice to be the 20th different park featured on my exhibit tours series. St. Louis divides its 90 acres into 6 distinct regions. The trails of 1999's River's Edge wind past immersive habitats whose inhabitants include the zoo's largest residents. The Discovery Corner and Lakeside Crossing are smaller but harbor excellent standalone exhibits for invertebrates and pinnipeds respectively. The Wild is home to one of the country's only open-air experiences with cold weather penguins, placed in between bears and close by a great indoor-outdoor great ape complex. The Historic Hill preserves the Spanish architecture of its 1920s structures, where you'll still find a lively abundance of primates, reptiles, and birds. Within the simple red boulder-backed habitats of the Red Rocks lives the most impressive collection of rare hoofed animals I've ever seen. Between these 6 regions, there's so many great options for exhibits to introduce the St. Louis Zoo, but given the zoo's reputation for preserving its history, I thought it would be appropriate to begin in the Historic Hill, and no exhibit fits the term historical better than this one. Before we get to the present-day Cypress Swamp, let's take a stroll through history. 6 years before St. Louis had a zoo, the city played host to the 1904 World's Fair. Over 60 countries and 43 US states provided exhibitions for the event. Among the exhibits was what was believed to be the world's largest walk-through aviary, constructed by the Smithsonian Institution. For the fair, the cage housed around 1,000 birds of both domestic and exotic varieties, including doves, gulls, and waterfowl, with big birds on one side and smaller species on the other. Upon the conclusion of the 7-month-long fair, the citizens of St. Louis opted to purchase the flight cage at a cost of $3,500, rather than see it returned to DC, and in doing so acquired the first piece of the St. Louis Zoo. The flight cage has undergone several renovations through the years. In 1967, an interior boardwalk was added, and in 1996, the zoo restored the cage's superstructure. Finally, in 2004, in celebration of the flight cage's 100th anniversary, it was reimagined as the Cypress Swamp. A single pathway winds around and over the swamp, which was apparently modeled after the habitat of Missouri's Mingo National Wildlife Refuge, and your walk culminates with an elevated view overlooking the entire aviary. The swamp did have herons, egrets, ibises, and spoonbills, but on my visit I mostly saw a variety of native ducks, including the colorful wood duck, who rebounded from a near extinction in the early 1900s to become widespread across North America today, and picked up a handful of nicknames in the process. The northern shoveler is named for its large, shovel-shaped bill, which it uses for sifting through swamp water for aquatic plants and small aquatic invertebrates. They may be observed swimming together in large circles to disturb sediment and unearth their desired food. Depending on the time of year, northern shovelers may pop up in Africa, Eurasia, and both North and South America. North America's largest diving duck, the Canvasback, was given its name because the males, like this one, are described as having canvas-colored backs. More amusingly, the Canvasback borrows part of its Latin name from its favorite delicacy, the celery root, or Vallisneria americana, the first half of which was adopted for the Canvasback scientific name, Aethia vallisneria. Though they need a running start to get off the ground, the Canvasback is swift and agile in the air, achieving flight speeds of over 70 miles per hour. From the continent's largest diving duck to its smallest, the Bufflehead, a derivation of the name buffalo head used to describe the species' puffy heads. Like many ducks, buffleheads form monogamous pairs, which remain together for many years. The Ruddy duck uses its stiff tail as a rudder while diving for food. They are also talented at slowly lowering themselves underwater, which can make it appear that they are sinking. Though they are normally silent, the males become more vocal during the breeding season. when they will slap their bright blue bills against their chest in courtship and produce chuck-heavy mating calls. These courtships are necessary each year since ruddy ducks are serially monogamous, meaning they remain together for just a single breeding season and repair each year. Finally, the only non-duck I spotted on my walkthrough was a double-crested cormorant. The nuptial crest for which this cormorant is named may be black or white as seen here, and only appear on the faces of breeding adults. Unlike ducks, a cormorant's feathers are not waterproof, so they must fan them out to dry after each dive. These dives can last up to 70 seconds and reach depths of almost 25 feet. And that concludes our first look at the past and present of the renowned St. Louis Zoo, an exhibit that perfectly demonstrates the park's ability to maintain its history while offering top-quality modern attractions. And now, enjoy this look at which exhibit will introduce the 21st zoo to be featured on exhibit tours.